Hi, today we're going to talk to you about how we prepare for our 21-day purification program. We've found that preparation is the key. So what I will typically do on a Sunday prior to starting on a Monday is get a bunch of different dishes ready so that during the week we can just grab and reheat and be ready to go. One of the things I always like to get ready for the week is a pot of rice, which just involves some long grain organic brown rice that you can add any combination of seasonings to. I like to add a little garlic powder, a little turmeric because it's very high in antioxidants, and we also like a little spice in our rice, so we add a little crushed red pepper to that. Once you get that on a simmer, we'll cover that, set it aside. Keep that on low, and that will just keep cooking while we work on some of our other vegetables. I typically like to roast a couple pans of vegetables so that they're ready for the week. Here we've got some cauliflower and some broccoli. So here. Now what we do with these is we add a little bit of veggie stock to those. And again, whatever seasonings you like, just to give it some flavor. I've got some, again, turmeric and garlic and salt that I'm going to add to that batch. And then we just mix it up just a bit. I like to roast it in the veggie stock and then drizzle it with the olive oil after it's done cooking. And what that does is it retains the nutritional value of the olive oil, which you can lose if you cook at too high of a temperature with it. So that's going to go into the oven at 350. We're going to come back and check that in about 20 minutes. I'm going to do the same thing with the broccoli. Again, I'm just going to drizzle a little organic veggie stock in here. And to this one, I'm going to add some freshly ground black pepper. A little bit of sea salt. And some crushed red pepper. You can use whatever seasonings suit you. We're going to just shake that up and toss that right in with the cauliflower. Super easy, but really great to have done ahead of time. And then in this pan here, which I've already got warming up, I'm going to add a little bit of veggie stock to that, just to cover the bottom. And our veggie combination for this week is going to be some snow peas, which we'll toss in. Some mung bean sprouts, and some sliced up red peppers. We're just going to let that cook to kind of a tender crisp. We have our veggies sauteing in a little bit of our organic veggie stock. I'm going to add a few seasonings to that as well. The salt that I'm using today is real salt, which is a great unrefined salt for you to use that contains a lot of natural trace minerals in it. Compared to some of the refined salts that you're going to find in the grocery store, it's a much healthier choice. And it tastes really great too. So let's do some crushed pepper on that as well. And then we're just going to leave this go for a little while. And what we'll do is come on over here and I'll show you some of the things that we make sure we have in the house for the week in preparation for our purification. I like to make sure I've got lots of raw veggies on hand. And what I'll do with these is clean them up, slice them, get them all into containers or Ziploc bags into the fridge so that they're very easy to just grab quick whenever you're hungry. Radishes, I'll clean these up and slice them, and I've got cucumbers, some organic celery hearts. It doesn't have to be the celery hearts, it can just be regular celery, that's fine too. I make sure that I've got a couple containers of the ready-made organic veggie stock, although you can just make your own if you prefer, but this is just kind of nice and handy. And some of the other things that I like to have on hand for use during the week, just to keep the taste of our veggie dishes a little more interesting, I'll keep a couple cans of light organic coconut milk in the pantry. And maybe once or twice a week I might drizzle a little bit of that in with my veggies as well to make a little bit more of what feels like a cream-based sauce. So we'll go into that in another video clip, but just to let you know that those are good to have in the pantry and have on hand. Some of the other veggies I like to have a lot extra on hand is baby spinach, because it can be chopped up and added to almost any dish that you're making to bump up the nutritional value. Most of us tend to be deficient in the greens, so that's a really good thing to have on hand as well. So now that our veggies are done and tender crisp, we removed them from heat. And at this point is when I add our extra virgin olive oil. In this case, we are using garlic extra virgin olive oil from Prima Oliva, which is absolutely delicious. Garlic tends to be one of our favorites in this house in any way, shape, or form. So I just drizzle a little on, we mix it in, and then this is just ready to go. Once the rice is done, this is pretty much how we would eat it. Another great condiment to have on hand for adding flavor to your veggie dishes is the 18-year aged balsamic vinegar, also from Prima Oliva. Absolutely fantastic on salads, on veggies, and a great replacement for traditional salad dressings, which tend to have a lot of extra sugars and fats in them, which certainly we're trying to avoid for the purposes of a purification program. So in addition to having lots of great veggies on hand, what we also want to make sure we have is lots of fresh fruits. So if you want to come on over here, I will show you what I like to have on hand. Now you're going to be eating certainly more veggies than fruits on this purification. I usually try to do about 75 veggie, 25 fruit. But I love to have a grapefruit, fresh grapefruit pineapple fruit salad on hand. And typically at the beginning of the week, I would peel up a bunch of these grapefruits. I just do it this way to get the skins off. It seems to be a lot quicker. And you can leave some of the pith on. There's actually some good nutritional value to that as well. And I would just go through and cut these up into bite-sized sections. And I would do probably that whole bowl of grapefruit is what I'll do for the week. Then I'll also chunk up an entire fresh pineapple and then just throw that into a bowl together for a little ready-made fruit salad. Have that in the fridge ready to go. If I want to just have a quick fruit salad for breakfast instead of my usual veggies, that's really nice to have on hand. Grapefruit and pineapple are also great for your lymphatic system, which is helpful. Some of the other fruits I like to have on hand are bananas. I'm going to let those ripen up a bit, and then I will peel them, put them into Ziploc bags, and throw them into the freezer so that they're ready for our smoothies, which we'll be having a couple times a day, so it's always nice to have that stuff ready ahead of time. I also like to have lots of apples on hand, both for eating on their own and also for cutting up into slices or chunks and adding to salads. A green salad with some extra apples always tastes really nice, and that also actually marries quite well with the aged balsamic vinegar that I just mentioned. Lemons are nice to have on hand for either squeezing over a salad or veggies, and also for adding a fresh slice to a cup of warm water, which is really wonderful for liver cleansing. And any of those little tricks that we can add in to aid the purification process are going to be really helpful.